I hate doing this, but I need to. Ooh. Hey guys, Mian, and this is Beauty with Me. The other day, I was doing some light shopping at my local H&M, and I noticed that their beauty section has grown. H&M has 690 makeup-related items in the store. That is crazy. There are so many lipsticks, foundations, concealers, highlighters, so much so that I was like, I need to try all this stuff. So I decided to go to H&M, get a bunch of makeup there, and I'm gonna be doing a full face of H&M makeup today. Before we get started though, please make sure you are subscribed down below, little red button. Beauty with Me comes out every Monday at 11 a.m. and while you're at it, please add me on Instagram at mian.chan. So moving right along, we will start with primer. This is the color correcting face primer. This one neutralizes redness in particular. I get the most of my redness in the center of my face, so I'm gonna definitely focus the primer there. It's actually quite sheer, but I do think that it's neutralizing some of the redness like on my forehead, around my nose. I am still pretty red. I don't know, does my face look less red, like slightly less red? The texture of my skin actually feels nice and hydrated. It smells like floral perfumey, which I'll be honest, isn't really a scent that I really love in like a makeup primer product. This is the All Day Liquid Foundation. So I got a couple of tools, the first of which is this face sponge. And then I also have these oval Artiste-esque brushes. So I'm probably gonna do sponge one side, brush other side. I like the way that this sponge is applying it though. This has very sheer coverage and I can still see the redness around my nose. Even for someone like me that does like lighter foundations, this is definitely not giving me a lot of coverage. These are not very easy to blend with. Getting some streaks in the foundation and I'm getting a little bit of shedding. Actually, I don't even think it's giving me much more coverage, to be honest. I think I prefer it with the blender. So this is the Cover-Up Concealer. I'm gonna apply this under my eyes, around my nose, and in any areas that need a little bit extra coverage. I'm hoping it's gonna blend well. The doe foot is really nice and flexible. Yeah, I like this. I can already tell. It blends nicely. It's not too full coverage, but I do think it brightened a pretty good amount. This is a concealer that I can see myself wearing like all over the face for like an overall like evening of the complexion. So next up, we're going to powder. So this is the H&M Translucent High Definition Invisible Powder. Ooh. I don't know if you can see that, but I had a feeling it was gonna be similar to the like other HD powders that are out there, so it would be very blurring, and it definitely did that. It has really evened out the texture here. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see the difference? No? Damn it. Well, it's there. I have a feeling that because this is more of like an HD airbrush kind of powder, it's not gonna be the most long wearing. I'm gonna do the rest of my complexion products after I do my eyes actually, because I just filmed with Jackie Aina and that's what she does. So I told her I'd give it a go and I'm gonna give it a go. I have this little eye Fidelity primer. It's so cute and tiny. When I saw that they had an eyelid primer, I was like, yes, I'm definitely gonna try you. This is not the texture I was expecting. This actually feels like I'm just putting concealer straight on my lids. It does actually do a pretty good job of evening out the color of your eyelid. So H&M actually has a lot of different powder eyeshadows from like singles to palettes, but I actually saw these crayons. They're called the Easy on the Eye color, and I have 4 shades. I'm definitely gonna wear Supermoon. Lady Gaga recently did a premiere. She had this beautiful like silvery graphic eye and a nice bold lip. I feel like it would be fun to wear for New Year's or something like that. I mean, you can wear it whenever you want really, but it does have a kind of holiday-ish kind of vibe. Okay, so I'm gonna take Supermoon and draw a graphic wing on my eye. I am by no means copying the Lady Gaga look because I think that her makeup artist did like a silver liner and like glittery shadow, and I think I'm just gonna take a cue from it. This is the Do-It-All Eyeliner, and it caught my eye because eyeliner pencil, eyeliner. Pretty standard black pencil, waxy, very pigmented. I'm seeing a bit of bleeding on the hand. We'll see if it ends up bleeding on the actual eye. So I'm going to take this felt tip. I'm gonna do a small little cat eye, kind of define my eyes a little more, and then we'll take it from there. I'm not a huge fan of felt tip liners. I do prefer them to be kind of a brush tip, but this one's actually very easy to use. I think I can get pretty good lines with it. You ever do that where you close your eyeliner on the wrong side and then it just like... This is a look that I do a lot. I do like a graphic wing, maybe add a little bit of a cat eye if I'm like going out. I've got a tube of the High and Mighty mascara. What drew me to this particular one is the brush. It's very small. It's like a plastic bristle. I'm thinking that for someone like me who has pretty sparse, barely there eyelashes, this might be good. It's giving me a lot of separation, but also I think a decent amount of volume. The tiny brush makes it really easy to get bottom lashes. I really like this formula. So moving on to blush. I'm going to be putting on the H&M Pure Radiance Powder Blush in the shade Coral. And this is actually a product that I was really excited to try. I've heard good things. I think it comes in the cutest, just really beautiful, sleek packaging. It even has a mirror. I prefer using fluffier brushes for blush, just because I feel like I get a sheer application and then I can kind of build it up as needed. It's very pigmented. It doesn't go on patchy. I really like the color. So I also picked up this giant rock. It kind of reminds me of the rock that Patrick lives under in SpongeBob. That would like be Patrick. Patrick Star. Anyway, this is called the Spotlight Glow Powder in Golden Peach. I believe I picked this up as a bronzer, but now that I'm swatching it, this is not a color that I would gravitate toward as a bronzer. It's very warm. We'll give it a go. Okay, so, oh man, I probably would wear this in lieu of blush. I think this would be really beautiful on the cheeks. Layering it on top of each other is kind of a lot. It's baked, so it has that like movement and that like luminosity that baked powders have. I'm excited to kind of play around with this more because I do quite like the texture of it. I have this Lip Colour-To-Go. So it is a crayon in the shade Bon Vivant. Oh, it smells so good, like sour fruit gummies. So this shade is a little bit more on the Barbie side than I thought. I don't dislike it. Overall, I think that I like the eyeshadow a lot. I like the mascara. I like the concealer. The blush was nice. The lipstick's very comfortable. I'm going to wear this for the rest of the day. I will check in with you at the end of the day, let you know how all of this wore. See you later. Bye. Hey guys, I am back from a very long and stressful day. It is 10 o'clock. I've been wearing this makeup for 12 hours and I gotta say I'm looking a little oily in the T-zone. I had predicted that the powder would not control oil very well and I think I was right. I'm getting quite oily over here. The foundation and the concealer are so lightweight and flexible. I will say that I can see some of the blemishes kind of peeking through the foundation here. As for the eyes though, I did notice some creasing on the lid. I think the primer and the eyeshadow weren't as long wearing as what I normally would wear, but they did start to crease toward the very tail end of the day though. They looked pretty fine for the majority of the day. The mascara and the eyeliner held up really well. I was on the subway and my eyes were like tearing up because I like ran to the subway because it was like really windy outside. Through all of that, no smudging. The lips, you know, it rubbed off as soon as I like took a drink of something, but it was very comfortable. Those are my thoughts on the H&M makeup. Let me know in the comments if there is anything from the H&M collection that I didn't try today that you think I should, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye! Thanks Thanks so much for watching, guys. Let me know what you want to see next on Beauty with Me in the comments down below, and click here to subscribe to Refinery29 and click here to watch another video. Bye.